we have got the best, most killer DJ deals for Amazon Prime Day coming up right now. And they're kind of all scattered around, so you're going to want to stay till the end because I found some of the best deals that you're ever going to find for DJs. And I'll be putting all the links to the description below, so make sure if you see a product during Prime Day, these things do sell out, so you're going to want to get them quick. I've had access to Prime Day for like a couple weeks now. I've been scraping the whole thing, looking around, trying to find the best deals. These are the best that I found for DJs, at least people like me who are working. Like, these are things that I'm always buying. So anytime there's a Prime deal, I'm always investing in new stuff, right? Because with the cables can go bad, and then you don't want to be stuck with a bad cable if you don't have a backup. Coming up right now. All right, so starting it right out, we're always going to come out with these SSDs. If you're a DJ and you have music, which we all do, you need to get a solid state drive to back up all your music. Whether you use it as your main hard drive or not, you need a way to back up all your music. Because take it from me, a guy who has lost his music probably 2-3 times in my career. Anytime that I lose my music, I pretty well quit DJing for a long time. So right here, you're gonna see we got a 2 terabyte SSD. I threw this one in because it's very cheap, just $107. For me, you'll see the one that I use coming up. But if you just need one to back music up onto, I would take this. If you're going to have one that you're going to be running your music off of, I would wait until the one coming up right here. This is the exact same one that I have, the Samsung T7 Shield. It's a rugged. I don't know if that really matters in the long run or the grand scheme of things, but this one has got like almost perfect reviews from what I've used it. Like, I used it every single night when I'm out DJing. It's done immaculate. Like, I have zero complaints at all about this hard drive. Again, you're gonna want to have like a backup of this backup. If you are using this, like if this is your sole hard drive, I have like 4 different backups of it just in case like something ever happened to it. Honestly, I don't think anything bad is ever gonna happen to this. SSDs though, they work like a USB stick. So one of the problems you're gonna run into is overheating. Just kind of like try and do your best if you're outside in the sun. Do not leave it in the sun. That's my one tip for you guys. Do not, under any circumstance, leave it in direct sunlight. The only problem you're ever going to run into is overheating with these things. And the problem is, at least with old school hard drives, you could kind of tell when they were like ending their life cycle. With an SSD, if it's going to die, it's just going to die out of nowhere. It's not going to give you any warning. So it is really, really important to have like a backup of this. On my computer, that's where I keep all of my backups, so I'm never worried about it, never worried about losing my music. It's devastating when you lose your music. And I did want to say, like, this is a 2 terabyte. I know that as DJs, we want to have the biggest hard drive possible, but I'm going to tell you right here, right now, if you have more than 2 terabytes of music, you've got too much music, absolutely way too much music. When you're building your crates, you want all killer, no filler. Like, you don't want some B-list track that was good for like a day 15 years ago. There's no point to even have that kind of music on your hard drive because there's so much incredible music out there. Like, you just want the top 10 of like the past decades. Again, obviously, like if you got special nights, you're going to want special music, but overall, like if you got more than 2 terabytes of music, you have a music hoarding problem, and you should probably be deleting music more so than buying a bigger hard drive. That doesn't go if you're doing music videos. Obviously, it's going to be a lot bigger space-wise, but if you're just playing MP3s, if you got more than 2 terabytes of music, you got too much music, you got a problem. But that leads me into the next product we got coming up, the T9 portable. It's not rugged, so it's just like their old lineup. I believe they're really good. I don't know though, but you got a 4 terabyte solid state hard drive, 45% off, $299, like an absolute steal deal. If you need space, like if you just need storage for like your computer for backups, I would get this. Maybe get this as your like master backup hard drive, and then get the other T7 as just like your DJ hard drive, and then you're set for the rest of your life. Essentially, you're always gonna have room to backup, and then if you got like other files that you want to back up, you got like another 2 terabytes worth of space for that. And as I was saying on the last product, I do have like my own master hard drive on my computer here that like all that music does not see my DJ hard drive, but if I ever like needed to go dig around and find some songs from the past, I do have it on like my my master backup hard drive. So this is what I would be looking at for that, as like a master. Next up, if you got these solid state drives, you'd be foolish not to get yourself a carry case. Like, this is your gold. This is like a piece of gold, your music that you're carrying around everywhere. If you don't got a carry case for it, you're just doing it wrong. You're doing everything wrong. And then next up, I don't know about you guys, but me, I just buy new cables all the time. I'd rather spend less money and buy more cables than like go spend top dollar on the best cable ever and then hope that it never breaks. For me, I just buy the cheapest cables that are out there. So get yourself some of these. You always want to have more cables than not. I would at least have 2 copies of every single cable that you need. This is a 6-foot, so these are good for like patching in like your mic to your mixer or your mixer or your controller into the mixer, stuff that's very short, but you do have like 10 foot, 15 foot, 25 foot, 50 foot. Wait until the next product and you will see about the 50 footers. But again, good ones to have are like 6 foots. You always want 6 foots, a couple of 3 foots if you are using an external mixer. Definitely 15, 25 footers. I would say more so 25 footers for like mixer to your speaker. You don't want to run out of cable, and you also don't want to start jacking cables together to make that run. I would say like the best ones to have are like 3 foot, 6 foot, 25 foot, and then 50 footers. And boom, coming in right hot on the next one. 2-pack of 50-foot cables for $30. Like, that's a steal deal in every way. Again, I don't know how amazing these cables are. They got like incredible ratings. So I will buy these products because I need some new 50 footers. For that price, it's a steal deal. Great reviews. Like, if they break 5 years from now, you're not going to be mad. You're just at the next Prime Day gonna buy some more cables. That's the way I see it. If you are a guy who likes the best quality cables, these might not be that for you. And these right here are probably my favorite product that I have out of all of my products. The amount of times these have came in and saved my life. 25 foot just IEC power cables. So this will go into my power conditioner, and then this goes into like the speaker or the product. It's not an extension cable. It's just literally the cable, like the power cable. Normally when you have these, they're max 10 foot, maybe 8 foot, and then you gotta stick an extension onto it to reach wherever you need to go. These things have came in, they've saved my life a million times, so I will be buying more of these. These are probably my favorite cable that I have. Just 25 foot cables that like I can pretty well plug all of my setup, like my speakers go into that, right into my power conditioner, my lights go into that, my moving headlights go into that, and they go up my trussing. So it's very clean. You don't see cables. There's no cables lying around anywhere. I use up pretty well all of the 25 feet. Like, these things are a godsend. I love these cables. If you don't got some of these, I would get 2 and then see how they work for you, and then buy another 100 more. And then, as we were just talking about, a power conditioner, this one is on big sale, like 42% off. If you don't got a power conditioner, what are you doing with your life? Like, straight up, we're DJs, we're supposed to sound good. This is both going to be like a surge protector, keep your equipment safe, but it's also going to clean up the power. Like, it's going to make it a cleaner source of power, trying to like remove some of the hiss, remove some of the white noise out of it. If you don't got a power conditioner, just buy this right now. Don't even think about it. Do the right thing. I did search power conditioner on Prime Day. I didn't see too many different options, but like, you can either get less ports. Again, the one I have has less ports, and I'm now wishing that I had more ports. But you can get whichever one you want. It doesn't really matter. You can get, like, if you have a rack mount, it's always good to have a rack mount power conditioner too. So it just comes down to like what your setup is and how many power like ports you need. But either way, get yourself a power conditioner. So important to have. Now this next one, I don't know. This is kind of a throwaway for me. I do use Chinese uplights myself. I use both lighting. I did pay probably around the exact same price for them, so I feel like it's probably worth the test. They might have problems in the future, but for me, so far, I've used them, I don't know, 50 to 100 times. No problems whatsoever. I probably paid the exact same price. I think that this is worth the bet, just if you need like 4 or 5 different ones, or just a couple. I think it's worth it. If you need like 16 to 20, I'd probably go find a brand and buy them all from them. But if you just need a couple, you just want to test these out, probably a pretty good deal, probably safe Not too many ratings, but from what they do have, good ratings. I would give these a shot. I would definitely test these out, give them a try. And this is like another no-brainer. If you have a MacBook with USB-Cs, what are you doing if you don't have a dongle like this? And a lot of you MacBooks don't have HDMI anymore. So this is just an all-around incredible cable. Like, you got to know which you need. If you need more USB, maybe just get all USB. Not too many people are using SD card anymore, so I just picked this one because it had everything. It's got the HDMI, 2 USBs, USB 3.0, and then some SD card readers as well. Whatever you need in your process, that's the one you want to get. But like, if you don't have a USB dongle and you have USB-Cs everywhere, I don't know what you guys are doing. There's no DJ gear yet, I don't think. Maybe the Omnis Duo that is plugged in with USB-C. So think about that really hard before you pass up on this deal right now. Next up is just a backup MacBook charger. This is one that like my buddy runs into all the time. He has a backup charger, but his MacBook, like, it holds no battery. So he's always rolling around with his charger everywhere. I know you got a friend like that who just everywhere they go, they got the charger, plugging their phone in or something. It's just smart to have for 20 bucks. Like, it's silly not to have a backup. So do yourself a favor, do your future self a favor, get yourself a backup charger, because you never know what can happen. And next up, we got like an actual MacBook Air. I would never recommend a MacBook Air if you're out like DJing in public and getting paid for it. If you're just DJing for free at home, this is a steal deal. If you know anything about Mac, there is never a deal on a Mac. Like, never ever do they put any sale price on a MacBook or a MacBook Pro. If you just need yourself a little laptop, this is probably a solid deal. It's got 3 years of Apple Care and it's on sale. Probably a steal deal, I would say. Next up is an actual Mac, or just a laptop, a Lenovo IdeaPad. I don't know, it's hard to say if these are going to be good. It was on sale, so I figured I would throw it up, like, very cheap, just for like a laptop. If you just need a laptop to stream with or use at home, it's probably pretty good. Good price, at least. If I was in America, I'd probably buy one of these. Now, this is where it's getting a little questionable here. 73% off. I've never heard of Ace Magic, but like, by the stats, 16 gig RAM, 512 ROM, which is your internal memory. It's probably pretty solid laptop. I don't know like how strong it's gonna be, but it looks like, by the stats, it should be a pretty good laptop. ROM memory isn't ideal, but again, you can just get yourself like an external hard drive or something. I don't know, like, I think this is worth the try. Like, a 1 megabit megapixel webcam alone is like crazy. You don't see that. So could be good. I don't know. I want to do this one because it's right here next. But this one's 63% off, $599. Typical price $15.99. This is probably a killer deal. Like, I don't know. It's got incredible ratings too. Only 8, which is not great, but they're all 5-star. By the stats, like, you should be able to game on this thing. You should be able to do anything with this thing. So I would have to imagine that it can run Serato stems, no problem. But it is like a sketchy, questionable price. Like, why is it this cheap? I don't know. So the good thing is this is Amazon and you can return anything. So if you are looking for a laptop, I might grab this thing, test it out, use it for a few days, see if it's good. If it's not good, just return it, because it's Amazon and that's what you do with Amazon. Either way, like, this is kind of a good deal, and all of the links are in the bottom as well. Next up is just like a carry bag. Like, once you start building up all your cables and you got like 100 XLRs and stuff, you got cables everywhere, you got mics around just hanging out, you want to get yourself a bag. For me, I just use like a big one, probably a little bit bigger than this, but it's just like empty. And then I coil all my cables up, throw them in, keep it all clean. You do want a cable bag. It just depends on like what kind of DJing you do. I'm a wedding DJ, mobile, I do full setups. Like, I gotta roll with everything. I gotta have my dongles, my DMX dongles, all of my extension cables, my Fit 25-foot UIEC cables, all of the XLRs as well. So I probably have a little bit bigger bag than this, and it was just like, it's just wide open and empty, and all my cables go in. I do have a system where it's like the cables I don't use are kind of at the bottom, and then all the ones I do use are on top. My power conditioner fits in, but if you're just like a club DJ or something and you're just doing small events and you're plugging in, this is a solid little bag right here. 20% off, like steal deal. Next up is like a no-brainer. If you don't have a 1/4 inch to auxiliary cable, what are you doing? You're out of your mind. For me, like what I do is I plug my phone into the ceremony speaker. I got the eVersa 8, so I just plug into my phone, and then I'm running ceremony all through that. I also have my DJI mic. Let's check and see if that's on sale for you guys. DJI mic. So not the actual DJI, but I have one of these for my ceremony. So my entire ceremony rig is all wireless. People love it. What I do is I take that same cable, plug it into the receiver, and then I use the Bluetooth on my phone actually to run the music, and it runs very seamless, very easy, never have a problem. I can pretty well set up anywhere on the planet because it's all wireless, it's all battery. I can do anything. I think I've heard people talking about these, saying that they're not bad, but either way, maybe just look for the one with the biggest reviews. Get yourself just one of the, like this one, you don't even need that cable. You can just plug right into the speaker because it's got a 3.5 millimeter entry point. Pretty solid. Next up, this is something I'm buying for sure. DJ controller case for my Rev 7 with wheels. Okay, with wheels. For all you guys who've just bought the Performer, like you know how heavy these things are. It's too much. Like it's way too heavy. I don't like being tired when I show up to work. Like I'm just gonna get this because it's got wheels. It's on sale. It's cheap. The next best thing is like $400. So take it there. Like it says it fits all of these: RX3, RX, RX2, Rev 7, Flex 10, DDJ 1000. I would assume that the Performer is almost the exact same size. It's got 2 more channels, so maybe a little bit bigger, but let me tell you, the Rev 7 is very heavy and I hate carrying it everywhere. So if I can get some wheels on it, I'm just gonna get some wheels on it, and I'm buying this right away. Next up is my favorite cable that I have. I'm gonna link you guys with the 3-foot because normally my laptop is here on its stand and then my controller is right underneath it. All I need is 3 feet. I don't like having cables dangling all over, like looking like a mess. I like having the exact right size cable for the right size job. I want it to be exactly fitting. So depending how your setup is, you might want the 6-foot. Both are on sale. I would recommend the 3-foot because it's literally from here to here. It's not going anywhere. You want a pretty short cable, and I do have an exception to this rule coming up somewhere, but for most people, this is what you want. This one up next, I've heard a lot of good people like saying good things about these mics. For a four handheld, like a 4-channel, 4 sets of handhelds, this is a really cheap price. You're never gonna find that. Like a Shure SLX system is like $1,000 and you get one, and it's so annoying because I gotta like run over, grab the mic, make my announcement, give the mic back, or give it to the next person who's doing a toast. If you just want mics that work, I've heard really good things about this. Like shout out Phoenix Pro. I would love for you guys to send me some mics so that I can test these out for you. But if you're just looking for mics that work, I've heard these things work no problem. They do what they need to do. If it's just speeches and stuff, like you will probably be fine. This is a steal deal. Like you're never gonna find a deal like this anywhere. If you need mics, I would probably grab something like this just to start. I definitely started with cheap Chinese mics when I started as well. So whatever gets you through to start making money and move on to start making more money, and then you can start buying better gear, is what you want to do. That's what I did. That's a pro tip from me. This one is just like a random, I just saw it, and like we're DJs, we make a lot of noise, we're loud, and we're annoying. So why wouldn't you get this Pyle megaphone system with a bullhorn and a built-in siren? Like, I feel like you'd be foolish not to do this. I'm probably good for 13 bucks. You never know when this thing's gonna come in handy, so shout out, sick deal. Next up is just a little case for if you got one of these, because I do. I have one sitting in the bottom of my trunk. I should like post a photo of what you shouldn't do, but it's just my backup. I have this exact same, I think it's the SB3, just sitting in my trunk. With there's a towel on it, right? So for 40 bucks, I can probably treat it a little bit better. Like if I ever do need it as a backup, then hopefully it works. Like right now, I might not even know. One day I'll just go to get this thing and it's not even gonna work because it's been smashed around so much. Probably a solid buy, especially if you have a controller like this. They're very light too, so this is all you need. You just need a little thing, you need some foam on the top, and you are good to go. Next up, this is surprising, man, this EBXYA laser. They actually sent me one of them. I don't have it here, it's downstairs because it's waiting to be reviewed, but like when I first got this thing, I was like, I can't believe these guys sent me this thing. It looks like something you buy at Spencer's like gifts as a gag gift, but it actually held up. It did a really good job. I'm not a fan of lasers. Like I'm never gonna rock a laser. I did use it because it was just like a grade 8 graduation. They wanted some lights, so I was like, you know what, let's just throw this up, and it did a really good job. Like I can't really hate on this thing, because it did a good job. At first, I didn't even think it had DMX, but it does. And it did what it needed to do. It kind of blew me away. Like I was expecting less, and it did a good job. So it's 20% off. If you just need like a cheesy little laser, this thing's killer. Like I'll give this thing my thumbs up, man. Seal of approval. I didn't think I would. I thought it was gonna be a piece of garbage that I was throwing in the trash, but it's actually made it to my gear. So shout out EBXYA. I'm going to put you guys in here. Next is just a backup for your headphones. For me, I don't even use headphones anymore, so it comes down, like, I know there's a lot of guys who always need this, especially if you got like the Titan in one, or you just need one of these things. This alone is going to cost you $12.80. You may as well get the whole kit and caboodle here. But yeah, anyone who needs these things on sale, grab one. I don't use headphones anymore, so it's like silly for me. The next is just a DJ backpack. I have a massive DJ backpack that has like way more stuff than it needs to have. It's always nice to have like a small DJ backpack, and it looks like you can fit a record in here, so my records wouldn't be all beat up and warped and ruined. But yeah, it says it'll fit like a bunch of different gear. I would always recommend getting like a specific carrying case for your gear, especially depending on like what size it is. For a backpack, you should only have like your laptop in it, your hard drive, some cables and stuff. Stuff you would need if you didn't need a cable bag, right? Everything that you're gonna need to run a show, backup cables and stuff, but not too much. Like you don't need too much, but it looks like a good bag, looks solid, so I threw it in here. Next up is this stand. This is the one I've used my whole career. I know a lot of guys who have like different kinds of stands, gravity stands, that there's been a lot of stands out there that have broke. For me, I would never put my controller on it. Like I only put my laptop on it, but this kind of stand has never failed me. It's never broken down. Like there's no way that I could just like drop on you. I've definitely seen stands go down in my lifetime. I don't know the exact ones, I don't know the brands, but I've seen some that have just let go and broken. So this is one that served me well my whole career for like 20 years now. So it's on sale, 27% off, $30. Like if you need a stand, it's solid, it's never let me down, so I'm just gonna put that in there. And then last but not least, like again, I use Chinese lights. I've been sent some Chinese lights to review. Some are waiting on. For 30% off, like if you just need a couple of movers, this is the way to go. As I said, you can always get better stuff in the future, but you need somewhere to start, right? If you don't have anything right now, how can you start? I would just get these cheap little movers, get them, use them for as long as you need to, because the thing is that nobody else knows. Like only DJs know and only DJs care. Only DJs hate on the gig bar. Like I've never been to a party where someone was like, you know what, that gig bar that you got up there is just, it's not really doing it, right? Can you mind just taking it down? It doesn't look that cool. So you mind just... No, like that's never happened, and it's never gonna happen. Like it's just lights that are on once you turn the dance floor on. I'm not running the gig bar during the middle of dinner or something. It's just like you just turn it on for dance floor time, because at that point in time, people now know like, oh, now it's time to party, now it's time to dance. So if you just need some cheap lights, I would go ahead and get these. I have Chinese lights, and I have no hate on them. Like they all work. They do exactly what they're supposed to. They were cheap. And yeah, that's about it. So I hope some of these products are going to help you out. I know there's some in here that I'm going to buy right now. I've had access to Prime Day for like a couple weeks now. I've been scraping the whole thing, looking around, trying to find the best deals. These are the best that I found for DJs, at least people like me who are working. Like, these are things that I'm always buying. So anytime there's a Prime deal, I'm always investing in new stuff, right? Because with the cables can go bad, and then you don't want to be stuck with a bad cable if you don't have a backup. So make sure you like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.